Bitcoin and Litecoin bulls versus the bears. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I want to take a look at Litecoin, then take a look at Bitcoin as usual. But I do want, first of all, to give a huge shout out to everybody that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing the videos. I really appreciate it, guys. You've helped the channel grow tremendously. And I hope I'm helping you out in some way also. So to give a thanks, I've been giving out free t-shirts. Today's the drawing for the free t-shirt. We pick a random video throughout the week and then a random comment, and that gets to the winner. And the winner, just get a hold of me. We'll get in touch. And you pick a t-shirt, Litecoin or Bitcoin of your choice, whichever, and we'll send a t-shirt out. So, and if you don't win, just go ahead and leave a comment down below to get you entered to win for next week's. We're going to do the same thing again next Sunday. So definitely stick around for that. We're going to pick the winner at the end of the video. Also, right before that, we'll be looking at the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart and see where we're at on that. I really like them charts together, and it's been helping me kind of guide me where the market's going. So definitely check that out. Also, we're going to take a look at some targets for Litecoin and Bitcoin, bearish and bullish, and see where we might be headed. So stick around. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or any investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind this is still a speculative market, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, as I post new videos each and every day. So don't miss out on anything if you hit the notification bell. Also, guys, smash those likes. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you have any suggestions to improve the videos. And also, that'll get you entered to win the contest for the free t-shirt next week. Let's get into the charts. All right, looking at Litecoin on the daily. We've been looking at this as a possible cup and a handle, with the handle forming now, which is still very possible. And the neckline's at the $99. And if we look at it to break out, our target would be around the 179 range. So now we're going to look at the daily RSI and see where we're at on that. And I'm going to zoom into that real quick. As you can see, I had this rising channel drawn in here, and we broke through the bottom, come back up. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that. Come back up, tested it for support or resistance. We got rejected and coming back down. I do believe we'll probably come up and try it again. But if we don't break through and break back in here, obviously, then the more bearish scenario comes in. But it's not doom and gloom, guys. I don't think it'll be that big of a correction. So we're going to look at the 4 hour now in the RSI. And as you can see here, there was the two white lines are this longer symmetrical wedge that we were staying in. Obviously, we popped out of it here, back down in it here. But I do have this resistance line drawn in here that's kind of making this triangle here. And if we're to break up out of the top of that, I believe we come up to test the top of this resistance line again. Always possible we could break through, but I definitely will be watching this if we do break up. If not, we could come down to the oversold and break the bottom of this triangle here and come down to the oversold zone. But keep an eye on this, guys. If you've been following my channel, you know I like to keep things simple. I don't use all the indicators and all the other noise, and it seems to work pretty well for me. I've been hitting a lot of my targets almost dead on. So if you've been watching the channel, you know that. But anyways, looking at Litecoin in the 4 hour. Now I have my targets in here, and I'm going to explain real quick how I got it. We'll start out with the lower targets, as we just discussed on the RSI. We had this rising channel here from way back in February that we broke out of right here. Came back down, was getting support off top and broke through, and now we're back inside the channel, possibly breaking down. Now, if we do break down, guys, I would watch right here because I have this falling wedge drawn here, which we could come back down to test the bottom of it one more time, maybe around the 67.50 range, somewhere in there. But I do believe we're going to have an up move from there. But if we don't, the measured move off of, let's take a measured move real quick off of this channel. If we measure this channel here, the width of the channel, the breakdown from here, if this wedge doesn't support us and push us back up. But again, guys, we could just not go any lower from right here and bust through the top of this wedge. We'll discuss that in a minute. But the breakdown would be around the 56.50 range. If we were to break down, that's my target there, guys. So that's if we break down, and that would have to get us lower than the 67.50 range, guys, before I look at this target. So anyways, keep an eye on that. And again, guys, if you guys are paying any services to learn to chart and all that, please don't do that. Save your money, guys. I think that's a bunch of bull crap, and there's so much free information on the internet. Don't pay these guys. These guys are scammers, and a lot of them, I believe, when you pay for those, all you're paying for is their gambling habit. So, you know, stay away from that, guys. I don't recommend that at all. So anyways, now looking at this falling wedge, now this is the bullish scenario, which, guys, I'm still leaning towards the bullish scenario. If we're to break out, I have this measured move here, just measured the wedge. And if we was to break out, you know, rather quickly, soon, within the next day or so, that gets me to the $91 range. And that doesn't mean we're going to shoot straight up to it, which is possible. We could and then bounce off here, but we could bounce in here for a little while and stay in this channel before breaking out again. So keep that in mind. Also, my next target would be measuring the flagpole here, and this is a bull flag, and that would get us up to the 112 range. And obviously, guys, if we start getting into this range, you know, we will have a decent correction at some point. I don't believe this is a correction. If I was to go back to, I started doing charting with Elliott Wave when I first started, and if I would look at this as an Elliott Wave, this would be 1, 2, 3, and 4 is usually a triangle. Triangles usually appear in the fourth wave and the B wave. If you guys aren't familiar with that, you know, check it out. I don't use Elliott Wave to predict. I use Elliott Wave, you know, just to verify afterwards. I don't believe Elliott Wave is very good for predicting at all, as it can change so quickly. So anyways, that's my targets for right now, guys. And this $99 range, the $100 range, which would be a double pop, or a double top, and that would be a measured move off of this channel again. If we were to break out somewhere in this area, obviously, depending on where we break out of the channel, that target can move. But just a rough estimate, if we were to break out over here, it'd get us up to this $100 range, and that's where that target come from. So just so you guys know. Now we're going to look at Bitcoin real quick. See where we're at on that. All right, same thing. Looking at this, I moved this neckline up, guys. I did have it down here, aligned with this here, but I'm moving this neckline up now to right here at the 56.50 range, and looking at this as a cup and a handle forming now. And if that's the case, and we were to break through that neckline, 8,200, I moved my target up, guys, which would be old resistance, support, resistance. So that's my high target, guys. That's my bullish target, is 8,200 for now. And let's look at the RSI, see what's going on with that. Same thing as in Litecoin. Had this rising channel drawn in here. And as you can see, we popped through the bottom of it here, coming back up to test it for resistance. If today we can pop back through that before the daily candle closes, that gets us back in the channel. So keep an eye on that, guys. Let's look at the 4 hour. Looking at the 4 hour, same thing. I had this symmetrical triangle or symmetrical wedge drawn here within this rising channel. You guys can see this. Excuse me. Within this rising channel, and over here I have this symmetrical wedge or symmetrical triangle, which we've popped back up in and then come back down. I believe if we get back in this, you know, we may bounce around in this for a little while, but we're going to look at the price and see what's going on with that. And again, I'm going to take a look at the bearish scenario. And if you guys watched my video yesterday, I have these two channels, the yellow channel here, rising channel, and then the white rising channel. And I'll explain that here in a minute. I explained it yesterday. If you watched yesterday, you'll understand it. It's kind of confusing, but I'll explain it again. Anyways, what we're looking at here is this is the measured move out of breaking this, the low one down here, 4,500, out of breaking out of this rising wedge. Bear with me, guys. I hope you can get this. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but it makes total sense if you can get it. So this yellow channel, rising channel here, which we've popped down out of over here, we've tried to get back into it. Let me zoom in a little bit. We tried to get back into it a little yesterday, but we never opened it and closed a 4 hour candle on the upside of it. If we do, then this could become support again. Now, if that happens and we get in here and this becomes support again, then I am going to delete these two lines because that'll make this yellow rising channel invalid, which the breakdown of that are one of these two targets here. This would be the target of the width of this channel from where it broke down right here down to the $4,500 range, which, guys, you know, that would be, you know, we wouldn't go straight down. It would be more ease, which would get us back to the top of this rising channel here. So keep an eye out for that. But if we do break back up into this and stay in here, guys, then, like I said, I'll delete this channel and we're looking at the white channel. I do want to look at this real quick as another possibility. If we look on the back on the daily, I want to show you another reason that target. If you look, that target is right at the 200 EMA. This is my 55 EMA, and these are looking to cross soon, guys, which is going to be very bullish in my opinion. But we could come back down and get support off this 200 EMA, which would also lead to the next target I'm going to show you here. We're going to go back to the 4 hour. Sorry, I don't mean to be confusing, but I want to kind of explain it the best I can for you guys. So looking at like I said, this measured move here would be this flagpole here with the bear flag here. And if we were to break down, that also gets me to this 4740 range. So that's my first target there. I expect a bounce if we do drop down here, guys, and it's only if we do drop down. And then obviously if we break past that, then this is the lowest I see us going. So, but again, I'm still bullish here, guys. I still believe we have more upward to go, and I do believe we'll get back into this channel. And like I said, once we do, then this channel becomes invalid and we start looking at the white channel. Now, if we're looking at the white channel, I want to explain this to you real quick. This would be the measured move off the white channel. If we were to break through the top of it, we're looking at the $6,500 range, guys. If we were to come down here and break through the bottom, well, if we break through the bottom, we've already broke through the yellow, so it doesn't matter. Sorry about that. But anyways, if we're to break through the top, we're looking at that $6,500 range, and that's if we break through the top of this. But otherwise, we could come up to, you know, somewhere in this area around the $5,700 to $5,800 range and touch the top of this channel again. And again, guys, that's if we get back inside this yellow channel here. I know it's confusing, but if you're pay attention and you kind of draw on your own charts out and look at it, it makes perfect sense. So, all right, now the next measured move would be measuring. This is the flagpole. Measure, and that's if we get back up in here and then we're looking at the white channel and we bring that flagpole to where we would possibly break out. That gets us up to the $6,900 to $7,000 range, which is my highest target. And then obviously I explained the other target before, so I'm going to go into the daily too real quick before I get away from this and go into the Bitcoin daily versus the weekly chart. If you look at the targets I have here, I have this long-term trend line from these two peaks over here. And if you look, if we're to get up here to the $6,500 range, it's looking like, you know, May 4th area, if we use this as a guide. And there's no guarantee that this will work as a guide, but definitely let's keep an eye on it. And the $6,900 to $7,000 range is around the end of May. And if we were to come up here to the 8,200 would be around August, if this trend line holds right here. So just something to look at, guys. Now going into the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. Whoops, sorry about that. As you can see, I've drawn the trend lines from both these peaks here to where it broke down, and then from all the other peaks to where it broke down, except on this one, I just drew from this peak to this peak, which got us over here where you can see we got resistance and broke through. But the resemblance of this chart to the Bitcoin daily chart is amazing, and I want to look at how it bottomed here, guys. As you can see, it was a nice, let's zoom out a little bit. As you can see, we had a nice rounded bottom. There was never no big capitulation candle that everybody has been talking about. And if you notice, they haven't been talking about it as much anymore. Kind of funny, but I do believe the bottom is in, and it's probably going to make the same type bottom as this, which we already have. And that's another reason, guys, I think the hyperwave theory is bullshit. And I think, you know, I think there's a lot more behind it. And I have a video titled, What's Really Going On with Bitcoin and Are We Being Bamboozled? Check that out. You might be pretty interested in it. But anyways, I'm going to go into the Bitcoin daily chart now. And if you take a look at that, we're having the same type bottom. And each one of these peaks, guys, I drew a line to down where it broke down, and we're going to take a look at that. But if you look at that bottom, it's just like the bottom I showed you in gold. Nice rounded bottom here. So I do believe, you know, within the next, before the end of the year, I believe we're going to have a pretty solid, pretty big bull run. So, but each one of these lines coming off these peaks, here, you know, acted as resistance and then support, resistance and support. We broke through this top one and obviously held for resistance held for support for a couple days and then broke back down. And again, if we look at that measured move here, guys, that I was just showing you to the 7,400 range, or the 4,750, I'm sorry, would be to the 200 EMA, which would probably poke through this and then back up. But like I said, guys, I don't think that's going to happen. In my opinion, we'll probably keep moving up from here. But anyways, another thing I want to show you real quick is my view on why I believe the bottom's in. And we're going to look at the RSI on this. And as you can see, I have two trend lines drawn here. This was the 2013 bull market. That's another thing I want to say. Everybody that's comparing the 2013 to the 2017 bull run and then the bear markets, comparing them, never has one of the old bear markets reacted the same as, you know, the next in Bitcoin. So that's invalid. Quit doing that if you guys are believing that hype. But the RSI is important. And I've drawn this resistance line from the 2013 bear market, and we got resistance twice and then broke through and never looked back. Same thing from 2017. We got resistance twice and never looked back. So we'll go into the monthly real quick and look at the two arcs I have drawn here. And the same thing, 2013, 2017 bull runs, and then followed by the bear market. And on the RSI, each one of these arrows represents a low in the RSI. There was 4 in this bear market, and we've had 4 in this bear market. Now, I've said it before in here. I believe that with everything going on with Bitcoin, this may be a lot quicker this time. This arc, may not be as wide as this. I think we're going to move up quicker, but that's my opinion, and we'll have to see how it plays out. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Now we're going to go into picking the random winner for the t-shirt. I'm going to use, let's see which one had nice views on it. Both of these. So let's go with the urgent key support. We're going to go with this video. And we're going to put it into the random comment selector. Let's see who wins. Load the comments. All right, most of them are probably be me, obviously, because I comment. I like to comment with on everybody. I like to be involved with the community. George Robert, that is the winner. So George, get a hold of me. Message me through YouTube, and we'll get in touch, and I'll get the t-shirt out to you. You can pick whichever one you want. So again, if you haven't subscribed or you're new here and you like the content, click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think of the video and if I can do anything to improve it. Also, that'll get you entered to win the t-shirt next Sunday. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate all your help with helping me grow this channel, and have a great Sunday. I will see you tomorrow.